Where was I singing?
Yeah.
Well, I started in the first grade. Christmas program behind the microphone. And then Pake and Susie and I, my older brother and little sister, we had a singing McEntire trio.
The lights were dazzling, the audience was roaring, and all eyes were on Reba McEntire as she stepped onto the stage at the 1993 CMA Awards. The moment she appeared in that unforgettable red velvet dress, gasps filled the room. The neckline plunged daringly, held together by nothing more than a sheer panel covered in over 2,000 crystals. It was a fashion statement that sparked 37 newspaper headlines overnight. But what no one knew at the time was why Reba really wore it. Now, decades later, she's finally revealing everything. The hidden battles, the family drama, the painful secret she kept for years. From standing up for gay rights to losing millions in a messy divorce. This is how country music's good girl became its boldest rebel. Reba McEntire was born on March 28, 1955, in McAlester, Oklahoma. She grew up in a world far from glitz and glamour, in a family that lived and breathed the rodeo life. Her father, a three-time world champion steer roper, was a legend in the rodeo circuit. But despite his success, the McEntires didn't live in luxury. They started out in a tiny three-room house with no indoor plumbing, and Reba once recalled that they didn't even have a phone until she was in 5th grade. Life on the ranch in Chalky, Oklahoma, was tough, but it taught her resilience and hard work, qualities that would later define her rise to stardom. It was Reba's mother, Jacqueline, who first saw the musical spark in her children. A country singer at heart who had given up her own dreams to raise a family, Jacqueline made sure music was woven into their daily lives. During long drives to rodeos, she taught Reba and her siblings how to harmonize, transforming those car rides into impromptu singing lessons. The McEntire kids soon became the Singing McEntires, a group that performed at local talent shows and small events. Their voices blended beautifully, but one voice stood out, Reba's. She had something special, something undeniable, and it was only a matter of time before the world noticed. That moment came in 1974, when Reba sang the national anthem at the National Finals Rodeo. In the crowd that day was Red Steagall, a country singer who immediately recognized her raw talent. He approached Reba and her family, offering to help her break into the Nashville scene. Just a few months later, in 1975, Reba and her mother packed up and left for Nashville, carrying little more than their dreams and determination. But Nashville wasn't the fairy tale she had hoped for. Reba struggled for years, facing rejection after rejection. She signed with Mercury Records in 1975, but her debut single, I Don't Want to Be a One-Night Stand, flopped. For nearly a decade, her albums failed to make an impact, and financial struggles became an unavoidable reality. Reba often performed in tiny clubs for as little as $50 a night just to get by. At times, she even had to borrow money from her family to keep pushing forward. Behind the scenes, there were battles with record executives who wanted to mold her into a pop country artist, a sound she felt wasn't true to her roots. The frustration nearly broke her. In 1983, after 6 years of disappointment, she hit a breaking point and considered leaving music altogether. Then, everything changed. That same year, Reba fought to record a song that wasn't originally meant for her, Can't Even Get the Blues. Mercury Records had planned for another singer to record it, but Reba insisted it was hers. Against all odds, the song became her first #1 hit. She heard the news while stranded on the side of the road in a broken-down tour bus, an almost poetic moment that summed up her journey. Success had finally come, but not without a price. Reba left Mercury Records in 1984 and took a major gamble by signing with MCA Records. The move meant financial risk. She had to pay to break her contract, but it was a risk that paid off. At MCA, she met producer Jimmy Bowen, who gave her the freedom to pick her own songs. That decision changed everything. Reba returned to her country roots with the album My Kind of Country, and it was an instant success. For the first time, she was fully in control of her music and her image. She crafted a sound that was both traditional and fresh, earning praise from critics and fans alike. In the years that followed, she dominated the country music world, winning CMA Female Vocalist of the Year 4 times in a row and churning out hit after hit. But just as she reached the peak of her career, tragedy struck. On March 16, 1991, Reba's world was shattered when a plane carrying 7 of her band members and her tour manager crashed into Otay Mountain near San Diego. She had been scheduled to be on that flight, but had stayed behind due to illness. The loss was devastating. In the aftermath, Reba channeled her grief into music, releasing For My Broken Heart, an album dedicated to her lost friends. The pain was raw, the emotions real, and the album resonated deeply with fans, becoming her first to go double platinum. But Reba's ability to spark conversation didn't stop there. Her sitcom, Reba, was a bold move, tackling themes that some thought were too risky for country audiences. A single mother navigating life after divorce while dealing with unexpected pregnancies. It was a far cry from the traditional country narrative. Yet, her charm and humor made it a massive hit, drawing millions of viewers and proving that she could succeed far beyond the music industry. At the same time, she continued to dominate the charts, with albums like Room to Breathe and tours that raked in millions. While many artists struggled to balance television and music, Reba thrived. But behind the success, tensions brewed. Rumors of on-set feuds, creative disagreements, and even threats to walk off set added to the drama. Still, she remained one of the most beloved figures in country music. Reba's personal life, however, was no less dramatic. Her first marriage to Charlie Battles crumbled under the weight of her rising career. When he demanded she slow down, she made the heartbreaking choice to prioritize her dreams over marriage. Their divorce in 1987 wasn't just personal, it affected her professionally too, as Charlie had been deeply involved in managing her career. Then came Narvel Blackstock, her manager and second husband. Together, they built an empire, but even that didn't last. When Narvel wanted out of their 26-year marriage, Reba was devastated. Losing both a partner and a business collaborator in one fell swoop forced her to take control of her career in ways she never had before. To make matters worse, rumors swirled about Narvel quickly moving on with a close friend. Reba's boldness wasn't limited to her personal life. She consistently challenged the norms of the country music industry. In 2015, she publicly supported same-sex marriage, a stance that was met with both praise and backlash. Within days, boycotts emerged, she lost thousands of social media followers, and conservative radio hosts accused her of betraying her roots. But Reba didn't back down. When same-sex marriage was legalized nationwide, she celebrated it publicly, despite the controversy. And when she invited a same-sex couple on stage to propose at her concert, the audience was split, cheers and walkouts happening simultaneously. Yet, over time, her stance made a difference. By 2018, surveys showed that Reba had helped shift public opinion among country music fans. Political controversies followed her too. After September 11th, her call for unity, rather than military action, angered some fans, leading to accusations of being unpatriotic. Things escalated further in 2003, when she voiced her disagreement with President George W. Bush's decision to invade Iraq. This stance cost her radio play. Album sales dropped by 18%, and some longtime fans turned their backs on her. But Reba stayed true to her beliefs. She refused to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration in 2017, turning down a $2 million paycheck in the process. And in 2020, she publicly supported the Black Lives Matter movement, posting, "I stand with my black brothers and sisters." The backlash was swift. Over 500,000 people unfollowed her, but her album, Stronger Than the Truth, soared to the top of the charts, proving that while some fans walked away, others admired her for standing her ground. Reba also became a vocal advocate for women in country music. At 54, she became the first woman over 50 to have an album debut at #1 on the country charts. In 2015, she called out country radio for failing to play older female artists, sparking a heated industry-wide debate. Her influence led to real change. the Country Music Association launched a mentorship program for female artists, with Reba as its first mentor. And when the CMA Awards featured an all-male lineup for Entertainer of the Year, she boldly called it out, earning a standing ovation. Her advocacy forced the industry to reckon with its biases, paving the way for future female artists. Reba McEntire's journey is a masterclass in resilience, reinvention, and standing up for what you believe in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories. And remember, Reba proves that being fearless is always in style. See you next time.